All right. Thank you guys for being here. She has some jamming music for us. So you can hit pause on the music, Shanita. That'd be great. There we go. Thank you so much, Shanita, for being here today. We are super excited for you to teach us how to be safe online. Thank you. We are thrilled to have Shanita Young with us today. She is working with Tech to Elevate. She's an AmeriCorps member who is working through ACC with Tech to Elevate as her host site, which means for the next year, we get to work with Shanita. She gets to work with members of the community and teach them awesome things like being safe online. Thank you, Shanita.
Thank you, Trish. And yes, welcome to Tech to Elevate digital coach program. As Trish said, my name is Shanita Young, and I'm originally from the Pittsburgh area. I definitely have a passion of helping others, and I'm committed to helping bridging that digital divide. As she said, I'm an ACC AmeriCorps Corps member, and the ACC is the American Connection Corps. And I am serving with Tech to Elevate as a digital coach. And just to explain some things about Tech to Elevate, we here are looking to provide digital skills training and resources, as well as home connectivity and devices for community members in order for them to be confident with using technology on a day-to-day basis.
And Shanita, a quick question for you. I know you guys yesterday were at the library in Ambridge, correct?
Yes, we were, and we did a an assessment. So it was more so a basic assessment of your digital skills to see where you may need help or what areas you may need more help, I should say. But yeah, and we'll be there tomorrow as well, doing a resume rally. So if you have time, come. We'll be there from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. At the library. So
Yeah, and what I love, Shanita, is you, Brandon, and Arita are helping people with everyday things. Like you mentioned, resume rally. Imagine if you build a really cool resume and you get a job that pays you a little more, or maybe you just want to learn how to use online banking so you don't have to go out in 32-degree weather this winter to go bank. So it's really cool the wide range of what you guys are able to help people with.
yeah, and like you said, it's a wide range, and as we always say, we're meeting people where they are. So whatever you may have in mind, and it is based in digital skills, we are definitely open to help and assist in any way that we can. So
That's great. That's great. Well, you're going to dig in. I just want a few housekeeping things here, real quick. If you have questions, there's a chat box where you could type in your message or any questions that you have. While Shanita is providing great information, when she takes a little break, I will jump in and get your questions answered as well. So please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. With that, Shanita, take it away. Teach us about.
thank you again, Trish. And thank you all again for joining us. Um, we definitely are looking forward to introducing you to our Roadside Assistance program, which is our IAAH. And initially with that, it is where everybody probably in some way, shape, or form, if you're a driver, whether you're a driver or a passenger, you probably have dealt with some type of roadside assistance where your car has broke down on the side of the road and you needed that assistance. So in the sense of internet security, we would be that roadside assistance, and I will be your personal agent through this journey. And also just to kind of highlight some things that you may consider with considering being a member of IAAH is that it's free. uh, you don't have to worry about any monthly fees or any annual fees that you may, or even any same day fees. It's totally free. The only disclosure is if you do need services through someone else that you may have to pay for, that is a third party that has nothing to do with us. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, it is called IAAH. Sorry about the misspelling, but it's the Information Highway Aid and Help. And again, it would be our roadside assistance through the Information Highway. So we're just going to get started with the jump start, which is the start of the day, something basic just to get us started in introducing the information with internet security. Right? And first thing first would be, what is the internet? That's the start of everything, the internet itself. And when considering the internet, the first thing you're thinking about is the internet is like a giant network of computers that's connected to each other. It allows us to interact with family, friends, and even strangers. We're sharing information with each other day to day online. So its use is a wide range. Okay. And just to get started, we have selected top 10 tips for internet security, just mainstream things to keep in mind while you're navigating the internet and trying to do it safely. We'll be going over each of these tips as we go along through the presentation. So, right, and we'll start with the first. Creating a strong password. Yes, which is like the number one thing you're always going through as far as thinking about creating a strong password. And I would say to think of it like it's the key to your house. You don't want everybody to have a key to your house, and you don't want them to be able to open your door whenever they feel like it. So creating a strong password and being mindful of the more so the basic principles of creating a strong password. You don't want to use any personal information like your name or birthdays, something that someone can easily guess to access your information. Avoid using the same password for multiple sites. That's hard to do because I know me myself, that's hard to do because you're like, hey, I need to create something that I'm going to remember. And, you have to try to mix it up, which brings us to our next screen as far as different sites have different requirements, whether it be a minimum number of characters. You might have to use some special characters. Your password might expire 30, 60, 90 days, and then you have to think of a whole new password. And also considering not even being able to use the same password that you just used, it can be a hassle. It can be a lot to think about. Sometimes thinking of a password is very stressful. So going into that, there are different options that you can consider when you are trying to create a password, which would be password generators. Password generators are definitely of a help. And I think of those as part of the practice of your password management as well, because password generators, of course, they just help you create a random, or you can customize your password. Then on the other end of it, you also have the option of a password manager, which with a password manager, you can still create a password. It still can assist you with creating a password, but then it goes a step further where you can use that to store your passwords and have that protection, knowing that your passwords for like multiple sites are safely stored, because it'll use like an encrypted database to store all your passwords, and then have like a master password behind it. It kind of makes me think of like a bank vault. You know, people have different security boxes that they have, it's multiple people, and they have their charitable items, I should say, in that bank vault. But there's only one master key to it, and but they have different keys to even access that. So that's how I think of a password manager, like a bank vault, so to speak. And then also a good thing, and it goes into the practice, is a two-factor authenticator. A lot of different sites, they definitely have that option available for you to use when you are logging in as an extra step to secure your account. So it would be with sending you a code to your phone, or even sometimes to your email, where you enter it in to fully access your account. If you can't verify that code, you're not getting into your account. So it's just that simple. But also, also Google offers you. Google is one of the web browsers, I say, applications that offer you to, like, on different websites, they may have that option where you can use your Google account to log in instead of actually setting up a username or password. You just use your Google account, and that's like, so to speak, encrypted too. But that's also an option that you may see when it comes into passwords and things. So that's also an option too. And then we'll go ahead and move on to our next considered service, which is tow and flat tire services. And I just refer to these as preventative services. When you think of a tow, you're either trying to avoid further damage to your vehicle with having it towed to like a service provider or something of that sort, or you know your vehicle is non-operable. You can't operate it at all. You have to have it towed. You can't drive it anywhere. And then with the flat tire service, of course, if you're on a flat, if you have a flat tire, you're just stopped. You're stuck where you are. So you definitely want to get that changed so you can keep it moving and keep going without any hassle. So that's why I chose these services as well. And then with those services, we would be up to our third topic, which is keeping your operating system and internet browser and any other programs you might have on your devices updated. I just dealt with that this morning, where I had to make sure my Google browser was up to date, because that definitely can affect you browsing, and it won't allow your applications to work properly if your browser is not up to date, or your, like I said, even your programs and your operating system is not going to work very effective for you, because it's not updated to maybe updated software with a different site or any program, or something, so you definitely want to keep those up to date, because who has time to see these type of morning messages? It can be stressful, and then you get all frantic and worried, like, oh, what's wrong with my computer? Oh my, so just keeping it up to date on your own, and that's just a good practice to have as well. So, right. And 4, be aware of suspicious emails, texts, and phone calls. Yes. um we know the phishing scams out there now are crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think a lot of people more so think of phishing as phone calls, but now people use the internet more often than making a phone call. So, of course, hackers, that's their 9 to 5 job, just as you are dedicated to your 9 to 5 job, and you put in the hard work and dedication to it. Believe me, they are putting just the same dedication in to the phishing scams and hacking things that they try to do. They're putting that much dedication, which makes us have to be on more high alert when it comes to receiving these messages. So, you just want to be aware of things, because with emails, you may receive an email that is like more so threatening. Oh, you need to hurry up and verify this information before your account is closed. Da, 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 da. They could do the same thing on the phone too, calling you, asking you to verify this information and stuff like that. And I would say definitely, if it's dealing with bank wise, the best practice to do is call your bank, call the number on the back of your card. Call the number on the back of your card, not the number that you see in the email or anything. The number on the back of your card, because that's the most secure thing to do. That that 100% is the number, because it's on the back of your card. That's the best practice. And I just put in these examples as well. If you see the email examples as far as UPS, you have those different little icons that come up, but for the UPS on this example, it's a question mark saying a delivery failed, please review. But on the next example, it's telling me it's just an update, and then my package is scheduled for delivery. Like, hi, Shanita, you see it knows my name. But it's just that simple, because it's easy to open up these messages without warning, and you may have caused damage to your device just by that click of opening up an email or opening up any type of link that may be associated with that. So you just want to be mindful of the things that you do bring attention to and you click on. So, right. And number 5, identifying suspicious sites and links. So, same difference. You may receive an email, and it may be a phishing email trying to get you to log in to their site, a site that the hackers have set up to have you log in using your username and password so they can gain access to your account information that way. And you just want to definitely double check the website addresses. I have 3 examples here. Only one is correct, but they all refer to Wells Fargo. So the first example would be indicating to you that it's a secure site. The lock and the HTTPS. That HTTPS is indicating to you that it's a secure site, and that itself does indicate to you that it's a secure site, because sometimes you won't see the lock um as well, and that's okay. But I would definitely be mindful to look for that when you are dealing with like banking, any banking information. You definitely want to be mindful to look forward to that information. So that HTTPS and the lock symbol, yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want to know when you are at the website. And if you're not sure it's the correct website, I would say again, with banking, you can always look on the back of your card too. Even though it's small, it should be on there as well. But the other examples you see, it says storage.google. No. And the other one says do it now. And the storage.google has a lock, but it doesn't have that HTTPS. So it's just to be mindful of those suspicious sites. And like I said, the links too. The links go into with the email. You want to be aware of what you click on. So keep that in mind. And then we're going to extractation. I guess when you think of that, it's more so removal. It's chaos. I know I think of it as chaos, even though it could be somebody might, their vehicle or something may just be stuck in the mud and they have to be pulled out. But when I think of it like this: chaos. Like, it's just crazy. So we're going into that would be our next topics, which number 6, use a safe internet connection. Using a safe internet connection is definitely essential with securing your information. It's so easy to use public Wi-Fi. I know I've done it, and then I thought about it afterwards, like, why did I just do that? Oh my goodness. But when you're trying to connect and you're like, hey, I need to gain access, and you see there's free Wi-Fi, you just go in and you just hurry up and connect. And that's more so on, like, a cell phone of some sort. But you definitely want to be mindful when you do that, especially if you're entering in any personal information, because that definitely can be a way that your information is not secure. But that moves us into our next step as well, which would be number 7, installing the latest antivirus and anti-malware software. That would be helpful, most definitely, even on your cell phone, all your devices. If you have the ability to have that applied to your device, whether it be just one is better than none. But you also is benefits you if you can get a software that has like a dual. It offers both the antivirus and anti-malware, because together they both complement each other and bring you up to that high standard of security with you navigating through the internet. So it's helpful to have both available to you. And there are some different software that you can look for, like, I think McAfee is a good one. Bitdefender is another one to think of. Just, you know, you can look into it and decide which would be best for you. And just, if you can, make sure that you have an antivirus or anti-malware um, on your devices. Also, just as an extra measure, back up your files, even if it is not just in relation to security, because yes, if you get a virus or some type of malware, it can definitely just destroy your files, like destroy, erase everything. And depending on what type of files you may have, it can be expensive. That could be a great loss for you. So back up your files. And like I said, even if it's not in regards to just security, sometimes you need to back up your files and have an extra way to have it, because we're human and things happen. You might have accidentally erased it and now you don't have it available for you anymore. So back up your files. It'll be helpful. It'll benefit you. Just takes an extra second. Get it done. But yeah, using using devices like the even cloud, you don't even have to have like a device. Nowadays they offer even like different clouds that you could use to back up your files that way. So yeah, it's good to have. Right. And then we're at the last bit, which would be I consider it as the add-ons. Of course, number 9, be careful who you meet online. uh I think now is more common than anything that we meet strangers, and hey, there's nothing wrong with that. As far as meeting people online, but you definitely want to be safe about it. Be mindful. Um, Maybe have your own practices or checklists that you want to go by when you're meeting people online, because if it's too good to be true, more than likely it's too good to be true. So and people like to ask for money and things of that sort. Next thing you know, they're trying to get you to download WhatsApp and just all types of craziness. So definitely be mindful of who you meet online. And then number 10, be mindful of what you post and share online. And I think that's a huge one, because you don't have to share all your personal information with everybody. Not everybody's not meant to know every step of your way, which it can be dangerous too. Sharing all your information, people knowing exactly where you're at and things of that sort. People definitely dig in, search, and they will do their own detective work, and it can be harmful to you. Also, considering it as face-to-face communication. Um, be respectful and have that netiquette, as they say, etiquette, where you are being responsible as far as the way that you communicate. Positive thinking, not being a bully, being respectful to others. And just the common phrase is, respect is not just a one-sided thing. If you expect to get respect, then you best believe the next person expects to receive that respect as well. So it goes hand in hand and it's respectful. And I just want to say I love netiquette. I actually had to search that and make sure that it is a dictionary word. It is definitely a dictionary word. But I thought that was a cute phrase. So, right. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. And just to leave you with a quote, which would be from Mr. Gene Spatterford. He's a Purdue University professional, and he is leading in computer security. So the quote is, "The only truly secured system is one that is powered off, cast in a block of concrete, and sealed in a lead line room with armed guards." That's just a lot. You've seen it was a lot for me to even read. That's a lot. So, in other words, the internet is not 100% secure. It's just not a thing about being that it's going to be 100% secure at all. So, you taking an extra step in being secure in the way that you navigate through the internet, hey, that's just helping to secure yourself, your family, and your friends. So you definitely want to take those steps to make sure that you are safely navigating the internet. And I just want to say, if you feel the need that you want any assistance, like any further details as far as anything that we discussed through this presentation, we definitely are here to help again. We do offer digital coach services, one-on-one coaching, and also workshops. So you, at any time, you can contact us, set up an appointment. We definitely welcome you to join us. So look forward to helping you. And again, thank you and navigate safely.
Thank you so much, Shanita. Wonderful information. We have a question in the chat. Any advice you have on steps to take when you click on a phishing email link? So if I get the good old your rich uncle in Africa died and left you a fortune. You didn't even know you had him, but he left you a fortune. Just click here to give us your bank information. If we click on something that we shouldn't, do you have some advice on what we should do?
I would say if you do click on something that you should not have and you enter, say for instance, like you said, enter some information in, I would if it's banking, I would contact my financial institution right away. They can go through the necessary steps with you where they'll probably do, as they probably refer to as a lost stolen, get you a new card, account number, and all that. But you want to take the steps right away. Of course, I would definitely, if you hadn't, if you don't have any type of virus or malware protection, download that. And or if you already have it, make sure you run it, but take the steps right away. Anytime you feel like you may have been phished, you want to take the steps as soon as possible to ensure your information. Because even with banking nowadays, if you have the ability to, you can even just block your account, you know, block it right away. But if they have access to you, like your routing number and bank account number, again, you still want to call into your bank and handle that way. But yeah, it's just taking those immediate steps right away.
Sure. And maybe reset any passwords on email.
Yes, that's a step too. Reset any passwords. They may have to completely remove your online account, like remove your login information. They may have to have you enroll fully all over again, like unenroll you and have you re-enroll so that you can change your username and password. But that's why I say you want to contact whoever your provider is, whatever site too, if that is the case that happened where they gain access to your information, so that they can do that on their end, because a lot of times you're not going to have the ability to do it yourself. So
yeah, Wonderful. That's great advice because you panic, right? Right afterwards. My health insurance company called me yesterday and I'm like, I really talking to my health insurance? Like, I need to be careful of what information, I'm providing here. So you panic afterwards and then you go back and change passwords and you feel a little bit better, but contact the bank is fantastic advice because you're already nervous. You're not sure what to do and how to protect yourself. So definitely great information.
Yes, and I know it can be a hassle even contacting anybody by phone, but sometimes that's the best method um, to actually speak to a live person so that they can make sure that you go through all the necessary steps to ensure your information is secured. So
Sure. So speaking of phone conversations, I am going to drop in the chat here the phone number. You mentioned that you can help people. You have some teammates, you have Brandon and Arita who also are able to help. And there's a phone number that they could call and schedule an appointment with you to meet one-on-one. And you could help them with a bunch of different things, right?
correct, yes.
Okay. And they could stop out and see you tomorrow if they want a resume.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hey, if you can't make it tomorrow, again, like Trish provided the number and I've said, you can contact us and you can schedule a one-on-one with one of us as your digital coach. It may not be me, it may be somebody else, but we're definitely available and here to help. So
Good. And we have a great team. So anyone that they get to meet with is going to help them in a way that is just getting them more comfortable with using their digital skills.
yes.
Good. This
And
is
don't be,
yeah.
I was just going to say, don't be shy at all because, everybody's still learning. The internet is always updating and everything. So do not be bashful at all about receiving help because look, we're here. That's what we're here for. So if we don't know, we'll work at it together to figure it out. So
Love it. Thank you for being here and sharing such great information with us, Shanita. We appreciate your time today and we look forward to having you back again.
thank you.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you all for being here today.